is Faruk Furkan Koç. I'm gonna be recording my Hadoop cluster today. I'm gonna start the recording with start of my Hadoop. I connected my VM machine using SSH. I gave a IP address to my virtual machine. And one thing you need to know about HDFS, when you write HDFS command, you need to start with HDFS DFS. Now my Hadoop is up and running. If you go here, you can see my local is active, my name and storage is active. Now I'm gonna start with testing the HDFS. I'm gonna test HDFS. Here's my HDFS report. As you can see, it's running. And then I'm gonna create a directory in my HDFS. I'm gonna call this Georgian. Then I'm gonna create a directory in my local. I'm gonna call this Georgian 2021. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a directory in my local machine, and I'm gonna create another directory in HDFS. Then I'm gonna copy the text file from my local machine to HDFS. How I'm gonna create a text file using touch. I'm gonna call this text file georgian.txt. Then I'm gonna copy the text file from HDFS from local machine to HDFS. I'm gonna use put method Georgian txt. What it does, it takes the Georgian txt file from my local machine and it puts this file in the HDFS cluster under Georgian directory. I press enter. Now I'm gonna show you my HDFS file using ls. As you can see, I have the Georgian txt under my Georgian directory. Now I'm gonna set up a environment for word count. I'm gonna start with creating a directory that holds the input. I created the directory called input. Now I'm gonna change the permission. Now I'm gonna copy all the files from the Hadoop home. From Hadoop home to input file, and now I'm gonna list the files from input using ls. As you can see, I have license.txt, notice.txt, readme.txt, and the input cluster. Now I'm gonna run the word count map.produce job. As you can see, it says it already exists because I've done this before. That's why it exists. Now I'm gonna just go and display the resulting of output files using cat commands. As you can see, all the words and counts here. My application is up and running, and I want to show you my browser. If I go to utilities and browse the file system, if I go to user Ubuntu, you can see the word count that I've just created. You can see the input files here. You can see output files here. And the HDFS file which I've created before. I've just created Georgian. You can see the last modified hours. If I go there, you can see the Georgian txt file. And I'm gonna go and stop my HDFS. My HDFS is stopping now. Yeah, my HDFS stops. That's all for today. Thank you for listening to me.